What up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Today, we're going to be reviewing Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 5. And if you like our videos and you want to see more of this content, make sure you subscribe.
Episode 5, Gone with a Trace. It starts, we see Ahsoka kind of speeding over Coruscant in her little speeder bike. She is traveling well until she gets over the pit into the lower levels of Coruscant, and she starts to have some issues. It's spinning upside down.
Yeah.
It's flipping out. She actually starts to right it. Then she hits a cruiser and knocks its...
I like that she's apologized to everybody. Sorry. She's jumping on their vehicles.
She's very agile, though. You know, she's able to stay in the air with that speeder bike.
And she does regain control. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of crashes into... I don't even know what you call it. Like kind of
a bay, I guess?
Yeah, a bay on the, whatever that giant hole is in Coruscant, leading down to the lower levels.
Yeah, I think that's what they called it, the lower area or something like that.
The lower bay, yeah. No, the repair bay, I think she called it.
Well, the whole thing, though.
Like, the whole shaft.
Yeah.
But the one...
the lower shaft? I don't...
Is there an upper shaft?
So...
we are children.
we are. The one thing that I did like, and I don't know, not a lot of people know this, there was a video game that was going to come out based on all of the crime and everything with on Coruscant called 1313.
Oh, really?
And Trace tells Ahsoka that lucky for her, she fell into the best repair shop on level 1313. I was like,
that's
okay.
cool.
Yeah,
Shameless
I was
plug.
kind of happy they did it. I was like, that's cool. I wish that video game would have come out because it probably was going to be awesome. But, oh well.
I like how everybody in the Star Wars universe who has a repair shop, that theirs is the best repair shop and wherever, insert planet here.
Well, it's like the best cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Everyone says they got it.
That's true.
Only Latte Larry's does.
That happened on The Mandalorian. With that.
Yeah, exactly.
With Amy Sedaris' character.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, Trace is a mechanic, and she offers to fix, her bike for a price. Well, Ahsoka doesn't really have any money, but she offers her some space to kind of fix it up.
Was I the only one that thought that she had weird grandma hair?
No, you were not.
Okay, all right. I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, what is with her hair? Do I say something?
Does your grandma shave around the top?
She might. My grandma's crazy.
Crazy good?
No.
We're really getting off track. But she gives her some room to kind of work, and we see that, they kind of made that Nebula class freighter she had that she was working on. I definitely think we're going to see that later on. We'll probably see Ahsoka and her
in
and
a
sister,
toy coming to stores.
fixing it up together just so they can escape. Because we know that Ahsoka does get off Coruscant at some point because we know she's going to be on Mandalore at some point. So as soon as I saw that freighter, I'm like, okay, that's how she's leaving. But she's working, Trace is working, and we have some guy come in wanting Trace's sister because she owes her money. They don't have it. She decides to grab a bar to kind of fight them off. Trace does. And she starts fighting. She says Ahsoka to keep out of it. Trace is kind of getting the worst of it.
I like the way Ahsoka reacts to that.
Just kind of walking around, yeah. I love how just like nonchalant, I'm staying out of it, all right, cool.
All right, you can handle this.
Yeah.
And then when she's getting choked on the table, she said,
okay, you can help.
I can use some help.
Right.
And then she goes full Ahsoka Tano and just kicks their butts. Even doing a little breakdancey thing to kind of really finish them off before the kick.
She's got moves. She
does. And then, and we were talking about this earlier, she says, when Trace asks her, wow, where did you learn to fight like that? She goes, oh, my older brother taught me that. And Doug was like, do you think that's how she sees Anakin?
Like, I was wondering if that was what she was referring to. Like,
And I definitely think she does. And I think their relationship is going to come into play more as we get, through this.
Snips,
yes. They don't call it that anymore. I kind of miss it. But, they're, oh, where did you come from? She's like, oh, I'm from the upper levels of Coruscant. And, they start talking about how, Trey starts telling her how the Jedi are basically warmongers and keeping this going. And she just wants to get as far away from them as possible. And you see Ahsoka kind of defending them at first. But you see her kind of maybe thinking, this is leading her down that path that we saw in the trailer where she says, the Jedi are no longer what they used to be, or, they're more warlike. And I think this is the path getting her to that revelation.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decide to go find a sister, and she like owns a store, and she's like robbing people.
Yeah. Okay, was that a laundromat or what was that?
I thought it was a laundromat, but
I wasn't sure if that was like a space laundromat or something.
Very Fight Club, where you just walk in there, you take clothes, you walk across the street, you sell the clothes.
I thought that too, and I was like, because like I saw her kind of like weird fur jacket, and I'm like, okay, what is going on here? What is with this? Yeah.
Her name was Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Marla.
Yeah.
Marla, yeah.
But the Twilight comes in and says he's got some droids that they need, and she's like, oh, my assistant, we'll fix them up later. And
who's your assistant?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute.
And so Ahsoka and Trace go back to work on these droids. Ahsoka's like, yeah, I've had a lot of trouble with droids, and kind of once again hinting at her past as a Jedi in the Clone Wars.
But not really revealing like who she is or what she is.
And as they're repairing them, she gets the restraining bolt on it, which I've never understood. Why in the Star Wars universe aren't droids just built with the restraining bolt in them?
I have no idea. Maybe they need to be programmed like off of the droid or something. Maybe they need to be plugged into a computer or something. They need to be written with it's this type of droid or whatever, and then this is who owns it, and then link it up to whatever remote control or something. I don't know.
You can just program that into it.
Because you see in A New Hope, the Jawas like stamping a restraining bolt into the droids, like kind of harshly almost,
Yes.
but
Very cruelly.
I mean, they're not all made for a good purpose. Like they said, the binary load lifters are violent. What the series 2?
They're destruction. I mean, they're for demolition. So
Yeah.
of course they're violent. But I did think it was weird. Well, we'll get to it when we talk about it escaping. So Ahsoka gets the restraining bolt on it. It starts to freak out. She just shuts it down pretty easily.
yeah.
But then the second robot gets turned on without the restraining bolt, and it takes off. And they're chasing it. They run by the sister, and they're like, we got it. But as they're chasing it, this thing kind of jumps down to the lower levels and just start indiscriminately knocking things around.
Right. Like
and
a
I'm
cat or something.
Yeah. I'm like, if this is a demolition droid, wouldn't it just look at a building and start destroying it?
That's what I was waiting for it to do.
It was
It's just knocking things around. It's like, okay, that's a weird way to demolition.
Yeah. We just want you to knock down all the desks in this building.
Like, look, we said it was faulty. But yeah, so I'm kind of glad that happened because, again, this is kind of going back to what we were saying about the previous couple of episodes. Is I was kind of waiting for something to happen, where it was again. I was like worried. Okay, is this just going to be bland again? I love Ahsoka, but like nothing is really happening. I wanted to get a little bit more of like what's she been up to, what's been going on, But it really didn't seem like it was going anywhere. And then we're getting all this character development for these, two sisters who I assume we're probably going to see more of in maybe the next couple of episodes. But
because in the trailer, she asks, "Why would you leave the Jedi Order?"
Yeah.
So we know we'll see them more. But you're right. There was a lot of character development for two characters that
are probably, I don't know how important they're going to be. Like, what is it going to be?
Are they going to be included past this 4-show arc?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering too. Like, I don't know where it's really going. So I was glad that we had a little bit of action finally.
No, and that was good. And I liked the part where, I kept thinking, okay, when's Ahsoka going to reveal that she's Force sensitive?
That's what.
And they catch the droid and they finally turn it off, and then it starts to fall. And then when it, Ahsoka catches it and it's so heavy, it's kind of getting pulled down, and I'm like, okay, here she uses it, but she grabs the wrench, hooks it up, and I'm like,
every other method.
Yeah, she's doing her best not to reveal, and then starts to pull up, but it's too heavy. And the only person that really noticed that she was using is that little Twilight girl.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she's going to reveal. But I also laugh because why do Force users always have to go like,
right,
to pull? You think they could just like stand there very nonchalantly and move things around?
Well, Darth Vader does.
True.
Yeah. And she did it in a way when she started using the Force, when she did that and then started coming back and then she flipped her hand over, and it could look like she was just rooting on the machinery, just like, oh, come on, you can do it.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of it that way. That's an excellent point.
She could also frame it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, like, during that whole scene, like you just said, like, when is she going to show? Why isn't she acting? Why isn't she using the Force for anything?
I really was waiting for something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think she doesn't necessarily know if she can trust them yet to let them know who she actually is, because, it's the lower levels, of course.
now that you
they might
find out
turn her
that-
in for credits.
Yeah, now that you find out that not everybody is a fan of the Jedi, like these two sisters, how are they going to react when they find out that she has the Force?
And then, finally, in kind of the end scene, the sister's like, I'll do the right thing, and leaves, and they're like eating at a restaurant, and she comes back, I got double the credits. If I didn't do it, somebody else would. So,
I mean, I guess she's not wrong.
no, she's not. It kind of fits her character. I mean, she was robbing her customers.
Right.
So I kind of was like, okay, I'm glad they did that because it actually fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see them going back to work on Ahsoka's speeder bike. So, next episode, I think we'll see them kind of, that buddy montage where they're working together, and, things will come up. And whatever drives them from Coruscant, whether it's her want to be away from the Jedi and their war,
Keith,
or
maybe they're going to do a heist.
that would be awesome.
A time heist.
Time heist.
But something, either the Twilight girl, because everyone down there is pretty poor, trying to get the reward for turning in Ahsoka might be something they would do. Not necessarily they're bad people, but that's a lot of money for someone who doesn't have money. So,
But
are
who's
they going to be
looking
on the
for
run?
her?
Darth Sidious.
Oh, maybe.
I mean,
I was gonna say, like, Jedi aren't exactly wanted at this point, are they? Like,
no.
unless by the
But
Separatists, I guess?
even Anakin could be looking for her because he wants to, talk to her more, try to bring her back to the Jedi Order, and I don't think she wants to be found. So, that's what could get them on the run, and they got a ship. So I think it's pretty evident what's going to happen, at least in the beginning of next episode.
And without the major twists we've seen this season, it's probably the most straightforward answer, to the plot.
We're doing a heist.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
And as the Canadians say, peace out.
Well, that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.